Born on a soundstage and broadcast to millions, Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen were immediately thrown into the Hollywood machine. In part 1, we dove into the twins growing up in the public eye, becoming the most famous twins on the planet, creating a brand worth over $1 billion, all before they even turned 18. But as they turned 18, their troubles became insurmountable. From stolen boyfriends to dropping out of NYU, Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen would go through the toughest transitional time of their lives, and they would quickly recede out of the public eye and into obscurity. And we detailed all of that in part 2. But what happened to Mary-Kate and Ashley? Today, in part 3 of the Olsen Twin series, we're diving into the mysterious world of Mary-Kate and Ashley's adult lives, their new husbands, and to see if we can get an answer on what truly happened to Mary-Kate Olsen. Now, before we dive into the very mysterious world of Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, recently I've been trying to lay off that sweet, sweet Benjamin. The flavored air category is quickly becoming the go-to alternative to vaping and smoking. It's a movement towards better habits led by today's sponsor, Fume. Fume is a flavored air device that is nicotine-free, non-toxic, and completely guilt-free. They use these things called Fume cores that have a bunch of different flavors you can customize, from raspberry lemon, white cranberry, peach blush, to more traditional flavors like maple pepper and crisp mint. My favorite is definitely peach blush. It tastes just like candy. Plus there's no batteries, no vapor, and nothing to charge. It's easy to use, safe anywhere, and has a weighted, high-quality, sleek design that anyone would love unboxing. Now, if you're like me or the Olsen twins, it's all about that oral fixation. And that's what Fume fixes. By drawing the flavor to your mouth, it replaces your hand-to-mouth fixation, calming nerves as it's made to be fidgeted with, which makes quitting the habit that much easier on the brain. So if you're looking for a really unique, thoughtful gift this holiday season, you can give the gift of better habits with Fume. So head on over to tryfume.com/deepdive and use our code DEEPDIVE to get a free Fume topper when you order a Journey pack. It's the perfect addition to make your gift even more special. And if you're lucky, you could even win one of Fume's limited edition gold-plated devices this holiday season. Again, that's tryfume.com/deepdive, or just scan the QR code on screen to grab yours now. You're bound to make someone's holiday unforgettable. In part 2 of the Olsen Twin series, we dove deep into how Mary-Kate Olsen found herself in the middle of the investigation into the tragic passing of Heath Ledger, making 2008 one of Mary-Kate's most difficult years, both privately but also publicly, as headline after headline questioned her involvement in the beloved actor's death.
The actor Heath Ledger was found dead today in an apartment here in New York City.
They dated briefly 3 months before he died.
Olsen is reportedly demanding immunity before she talks and getting slammed for it.
Now, after these traumatic events in the public eye, the twins have had zero interest in being in the limelight. The day of the Olsen twins' 18th birthday, they took control of their empire and never looked back. Despite completely removing themselves from the public eye, they still found themselves in all the gossip magazines during their iconic NYU cigarette smoking party days. But once Mary-Kate's name was cleared of any wrongdoing in the Heath Ledger case, the twins would take an even bigger step back from the public eye, choosing to put all their focus in their high-end fashion label, The Row.
It's a lot of strategy, and when we were 18, it probably happened then when we decided to move to New York and go to NYU and go to school, and kind of we took that time to really figure out, you know, what are our next steps going to be. But we had to kind of step away from everything we had done and, you know, really think about what we want to do moving forward. And all these projects kind of slowly started coming up. Even when we were acting, it was all about the wardrobe and the costume changes, and that was kind of also how we fit and quality, and you know, how to take that to the next level, and how we really gained a lot of our fans at the time was really through the way we were dressing and the way our hairstyles were, and we were very much involved in that and creating our own style. And then we, you know, had a business with Walmart for some years, but it was a, you know, mass business, so we learned a lot about that type of business, which is completely different than contemporary or designer.
Now, at first they were unsure if they even wanted to be the face of the row. Their whole childhood consisted of the twins having to push product after product, from magazines to kids' toys, all the way to a major Walmart clothing line. Their faces were used to sell hundreds of millions of dollars worth of merchandise, and they were just done being a product-pushing machine. Mary-Kate and Ashley wanted the row to be just like them, discreet. They knew luxurious consumers were tired of the often unnecessary branding and monogram prints plaguing the luxury clothing market. They were confident in their clothes being timeless, high-quality pieces that could speak for themselves. Thus, Mary-Kate and Ashley opted for a more quiet approach to high fashion. The twins didn't know it yet, but they were about to become trailblazers in the quiet luxury market, as they would go on to carve out a completely new lane in the fashion world. While only doing a handful of interviews to promote the row, Mary-Kate and Ashley would open up more about taking back full control of not just their companies, but their lives. In an interview with Mary Claire, Mary-Kate stated that they were, quote, like little monkey performers who did what they were told. She looks back at old pictures of herself and doesn't feel connected to them at all. She then stated that she wouldn't wish her upbringing on anyone.
I've become a lot more introverted, that's for sure. And I think that's just, because of, needing to keep, certain things to yourself when you're working so much and you're dealing with so many people on a day-to-day basis. It's kind of, at the end of the day, you want to kind of retreat back to what's comfortable.
I just always wonder what goes through your mind when you're sitting there in the front row and, the paparazzi are going nuts and, you just sort of got to, what goes through your mind? Because obviously, I
turn white. And my palms start sweating, my legs start shaking. I think you just sort of black out for 10 minutes and then it's over. There's nothing about it that's normal or natural or anything that's, for me, very fun about that whole experience. I think, what's really fun is the 2 minutes of the show, and that's why, we don't go to very many based on the other side, but we'll show up for something that we know is going to be an incredible show.
They were a completely new kind of celebrity, introverted and mysterious, born to be creative visionaries but forced to walk on red carpets blinded by flashing lights. Mary-Kate and Ashley would spend the next couple of years throwing themselves into fashion design, not just for the row but also for Elizabeth and James, a more accessible brand named after their siblings. They would even partner with JCPenney to create Olsen Boy, a clothing line geared towards the teenage demographic.
We trademarked the name Olsen Boy. It's our Norwegian last name. We trademarked it when we were 14. We knew one day we'd apply it to something, and this kind of felt like the perfect project for JCPenney.
Now, while Olsen Boy was selling out in JCPenney's across the nation, Mary-Kate would shock the world when it was announced that she would be returning to the big screen alongside Disney Channel royalty and my personal favorite celebrity.
The unbelievable, indescribable Vanessa Hudgens, baby V.
Vanessa Hudgens, all for a modern adaptation of Beauty and the Beast, called Beastly. Now, this is one of the strangest moments in Mary-Kate's career, as up until this point, she'd retreated from the limelight. This movie was expected to do major numbers. At the time, Twilight was booming in popularity, so a movie about a, quote, beast falling in love with a beautiful girl was on trend. Plus, that beautiful girl was being played by none other than Vanessa Hudgens,
Baby V.
who was fresh out of the massively successful High School Musical franchise. To top it off, the casting director somehow got Mary-Kate Olsen to come out of acting retirement to play the evil witch in this film. All of that expert casting was tied off with a massive multi-million-dollar marketing budget targeted at the Twilight demographic of young teens, populating hot topics across the nation.
The way she walks and talks and looks at people, it's all sort of it's by choice, and it's eerie.
Beastly would end up getting delayed over a year, and by the time it released in 2011, it had lost nearly all momentum. The once promising teen blockbuster totally flopped in box offices, officially marking the end of Mary-Kate Olsen's acting career. Both Ashley and Mary-Kate would then confirm that we would never see them on screen again in their separate Elle UK magazine covers. Ashley, who by this point hadn't acted since 2004's New York Minute, said, "I don't have to be a pretty face. I've done that. But now it's important and liberating to be on the other side of the lens." "I don't like to be the center of attention anymore," further stating it doesn't mean they are uninterested in Hollywood as a whole and the sense of possibility. But if they were to ever go back into the Hollywood machine, it would not be in front of the cameras. The Olsen twins proved they actually didn't need Hollywood in any capacity, as by 2011 they had grown the Row into a massively successful luxury brand, effectively taking the fashion world by storm. Quiet luxury was officially all the rage. At first, the fashion industry doubted them as designers, looking down at how they got their start as child stars. But Mary-Kate and Ashley would prove everyone wrong. Their minimalist approach to the Row actually set them apart. In a world of celebrity endorsements and product placements, the Olsen's route of quiet luxury, no flashy branding, no commercials or marketing, and no celebrity faces definitely made their brand stand out from the rest. The Row created intrigue, mystery, and even fear at times. The brand had become even more mysterious and elusive than Mary-Kate and Ashley themselves. And this gave the brand an edge. No branding meant their sales were primarily based on word of mouth. This was the first time a brand of this magnitude had launched so organically at such a large scale, and it proved to be a massive hit. The allure of mystery, fear, and the unknown shrouded the Row at its conception and follow the brand to this very day. And this shouldn't come as a surprise, as they have been fashion icons their entire lives. But now Mary-Kate and Ashley were fashion moguls, being called some of the most powerful players in the fashion world, dominating the industry and sweeping every award show. They were every designer's favorite muse, and suddenly the trend of quiet luxury began sweeping every major brand.
In 2012, the Olsens were making waves online. From their controversial $55,000 pill bags to Mary-Kate's new boyfriend, Olivier Sarkozy. The couple had been photographed together at a New York Knicks game, and well, the public was pretty taken back by the very obvious age difference. At the time, Mary-Kate was 26 years old and Olivier was 43. Now, through the years, the Olsen twins have been known for a pattern of having relationships with a substantial age gap. When they were in the limelight, they did tend to date men closer to their age. But once they retreated from the public eye, they both chose partners who were successful but also much older. One of the most notable being Ashley's relationship with Richard Sachs, an art dealer who was 28 years older than her. Anyways, back to Mary-Kate's budding romance. Olivier Sarkozy had a name that granted him status at the highest levels. Not only was he a massively successful investment banker, his half-brother was former president of France, Nicolas Sarkozy. When Mary-Kate and Olivier started dating, he had been divorced for roughly 1 year from his ex-wife, Charlotte Bernard. They had 2 children together who are actually closer in age to Mary-Kate than she is to Olivier, which seemingly grossed out the ex-wife, as according to the New York Post, she had one word to describe Mary-Kate and Olivier's coupling, and that word was grotesque. Even the French press would roast the new relationship, calling Mary-Kate Olivier's pipsqueak paramour. Aside from being photographed at sporting events and the paparazzi hunting the couple down at various airports, Mary-Kate and Olivier managed to shield their relationship from the public eye. Fast forward to 2014, Mary-Kate was spotted by paparazzi wearing what looked like an engagement ring, but that's not what was making the headlines. See, the Olsens posed together at the 2014 World of Children Awards, and Mary-Kate's quote, shocking new look went absolutely viral.
Mary-Kate, did you get any work done? You look fantastic. Anything? Any comment?
Article after article plastered the online sphere, asking what happened to Mary-Kate's face. Is it plastic surgery or the Marlboros?
Be like bum, stickity bum, while I pop my gum. They looking dumb, stickity dumb, think they stopping some. I said, excuse me, honey, I'm the Bugs Bunny. All my fun ain't got my guarantee, ain't got nothing for that. The mean girls get yes, we're so Dutch. And when we in the yard, be jumping double dutch. We back to the future, Pearl, you're with the best.
It's no coincidence that directly after getting completely ripped to shreds by the media, Mary-Kate and Ashley would do their last mainstream TV interview ever. They would appear on Ellen to promote their fragrance and talk about their new brick and mortar store for the Row.
It's really amazing that y'all started out on Full House. I mean, to start in a career... And to be businesswomen and to be successful? Because a lot of people start at this, they try, and it's not nearly as successful.
No, it's incredible.
Yeah.
I guess people who grew up with us are now having kids, and now their kids are watching it, and it's still relevant.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
Bob Saget has a new book out saying that he did a lot of inappropriate jokes. Do you remember the jokes when you were on set?
They were very inappropriate. We probably couldn't even talk about it here. They were 3 comedians. We grew up with 3 comedians that just had fun together.
In 2015, Mary-Kate and Olivier would have a secret wedding with bowls of cigarettes everywhere at a private New York residence. While Mary-Kate herself didn't confirm whether or not she even had a wedding, some of the cast members of Full House who were not invited seemingly confirmed it to the press while sending their congratulations.
Apparently, there wasn't a full house at Mary-Kate Olsen's wedding because Mary-Kate's TV dad, Bob Saget, wasn't there.
I was not invited, but I'm very happy, and I sent a Mazel Tov text.
You did?
As a Lutheran minister.
Should we say who we're talking about?
Yeah, we should. Mary-Kate got married. Mary-Kate
She did, and I'm very happy. I love her very much, and I hope that they're happy.
And neither was Uncle Joey. Dave Coulier released this statement to ET. I'd like to congratulate Mary-Kate and wish her and her husband all the happiness in the world. Sending my love.
Mary-Kate's sister-in-law, Carla Bruni, gave Andy Cohen and Yolanda Hadid a little inside scoop.
What kind of sister-in-law is Mary-Kate Olsen?
I met her at some cousin's wedding, and she looked adorable and very kind. And also Olivier, he looks very happy with her.
It's reported that at the wedding they had bowls of cigarettes.
And why not?
People love that. Yeah, exactly.
While Mary-Kate was celebrating with her new husband, a class action lawsuit against the Olsens and their main company, Dual Star, was brewing in the background. 40 ex-interns who had worked for the twins' high-end fashion brands were coming forward alleging wage theft, stating they should have been paid at least minimum wage, as they were doing similar jobs as their paid colleagues, and were not even receiving any academic or vocational credits. The lead plaintiff, Shahista Lalani, said she was even hospitalized for dehydration as a result of carrying 50 pounds worth of trench coats through New York during 100-degree heat. Annette Wolf, a representative for Dual Star, responded stating the allegations are groundless and that Dual Star will vigorously defend itself against the plaintiffs in court. However, the class action suit just kept on growing, going from originally 40 unpaid interns to a total of 185. So the Olsen twins decided it was in their best interest to settle the lawsuit instead.
According to court documents obtained by ET, Mary-Kate and Ashley's company Dual Star Entertainment Group will be paying up to $140,000 to a group of former interns who alleged in a 2015 class action lawsuit they were either unpaid or paid less than minimum wage after working extended hours.
It was around the same time that rumors began circulating that Full House was going to be rebooted. And in April of 2015, John Stamos confirmed on Jimmy Kimmel that all the rumors were true.
I'm going to give you the exclusive.
Please do.
Literally just like 5 minutes ago, they called, they sealed the deal, and we've been working on this for many, many years. The original creator, Jeff Franklin and Bob Boyett and Tom Miller, we were trying to do some sort of spin-off, and we wanted to give credit to the legacy. We didn't want to just sort of throw it away. And so Netflix came around and said, let's do 13 episodes. So it starts sort of as a reunion and then spins off into this like a spin-off.
The phenomenon of older TV shows returning for a reboot would start going strong in the 2010s, bringing back nostalgic brands and giving them a new twist, to hopefully not only attract the original audience, but an entire new one as well. Full House would be one of the first TV shows to kickstart this trend. See, Full House coming back brought a whole lot of media attention and drama back into the Olsen twins' lives. John Stamos, Uncle Jesse, was one of the main driving forces behind the reboot titled Fuller House. He'd wanted to bring the show back since the show ended. For years, he'd gone studio to studio, executive to executive, just to see if he could get the show back up off the ground. And in 2015, the stars finally aligned, as the entire original cast was on board. Well, except for Mary-Kate and Ashley. When news broke that it was no longer a rumor, but the show was actually greenlit by Netflix, immediately the Olsens were asked if they would reprise their roles as Michelle Tanner. They responded stating that they just found out about the reboot, and they were shocked that John Stamos didn't inform them at all. Ashley even pointed out that she had recently run into Bob Saget, and he didn't mention anything either. The silence from the Full House cast was deafening, and the actors who purported to, quote, be like family to Mary-Kate and Ashley actually kept the entire show a complete secret from the twins. John Stamos, who was an executive producer, got blasted on social media. A fan tweeted out blaming him for forgetting to inform the Olsen twins about the reunion at all. John would tweet and later delete, quote, I call bullshit. This would then spark the media to ask essentially every Full House cast member non-stop if the Olsen twins would be coming back.
Mary-Kate and Ashley, I know they said that they didn't really know about it or they weren't asked. What are your thoughts on that, or do you know otherwise?
You know, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they were aware of or what they weren't, but you know, I think we're still, you know, trying to talk to all the original cast, and you know, we're really excited. Like Candace and Andrea and I are super excited about kind of getting to have our own show and our own experience with it. So that'll be fun.
Here's the question I have: like, how are they gonna? Because you had the two twins, the Tanner twins, Michelle, right? How are they gonna work that out, like with the Olsen twins? Like, because they were both on the show and they switched off and on. Like, are they gonna be on the show?
I don't know if they're gonna be on the show. I think they're in talks for some of the cast to come back for like a reunion episode, but the show's based around my character and Kimmy Gibbler and Stephanie.
Okay. So like, so you don't even know whether they're gonna be on the show.
I don't know if the Olsens will be on it.
Wow. Like, is it a? That's not like a well-guarded secret. Like, I mean, like, that's kind of crazy. They don't have to do it, right? Because they're like.
No, it's not really what the show's about.
Yeah.
So it's a new show. They're not trying to remake Full House. It's a new version of, and it's called Fuller House.
Okay.
But I think as many of the cast members as they can get for like a reunion episode, they're talking to them.
Okay.
And then the show's based around.
So like you and Kimmy.
Right.
I think that's still awesome, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so.
I do too. And then do you think the Olsen twins will make a guest appearance? I'm sure everybody's asking that already because they're not a part of this, but do you think they'll stop in?
I don't know. The door's open if they want to.
The door's always open.
Yeah.
We make reference to them on the show, though, so they are not forgotten. We talk about them.
We definitely acknowledge Michelle being, you know, present.
All anyone wanted to know was if the high fashion queens of the row would step off their thrones in the quiet luxury space back down to the homely sound stages with the Full House cast. John Stamos would break his silence, saying there was a miscommunication in the press. What actually happened was John Stamos didn't reach out to Mary-Kate or Ashley directly. He instead reached out to their agent. This is why they had no clue about the revival. He said his mistake was not talking to them himself. Bob Boyett, a producer on both the original and reboot, reached out to the Olsen twins directly to extend an invitation for the first episode, which was a reunion of the cast.
And executive producer Bob Boyett explained why. He told People, Ashley said, I have not been in front of a camera since I was 17, and I don't feel comfortable acting. Mary-Kate said, it would have to be me because Ash doesn't want to do it, but the timing is so bad for us.
Well, a lot of people are very upset that the Olsen twins won't be returning for it.
Get over it. The Olsens are sweet girls. They should do what they want to do with their lives. They're fashion, they're amazing artists, and they're just really, really talented, and people should do what they want to do.
Yeah. So is there going to be someone?
I'm going to be friends with them. I love them. So I don't think that show business or a project is what you have to do. Even though the fans really want it, you got to live for yourself.
That's true. Well, who would be? Will they be replaced?
Ridiculous, don't I?
Not at all. No, it's a good political answer.
From here saying we should do what we really want to do.
But is someone going to replace them, or is it?
I have no idea.
Since then, John has admitted that he was angry and disappointed that Mary-Kate or Ashley didn't want to come back, as they were the only ones from the original cast to not make a single appearance. That's why we saw John Stamos' outburst on Twitter, which came from those initial emotions. He explained it was actually Lori Loughlin, Aunt Becky, who put it into a perspective he could understand. She told John, Mary-Kate and Ashley run a massive fashion brand and have won multiple CFDA awards. In the fashion world, that's like winning the Oscars. She asked John if he had won multiple Oscars, would he be coming back to do Fuller House? And John responded with probably not. The Olsen twins had achieved greatness that they had to sacrifice their entire childhoods to obtain. And John wanted the twins to put all their critical acclaim to the side, just for one episode of their Netflix reboot. The man who'd so unabashedly tried to get the twins removed from Full House was now practically begging on his hands and knees that they return. In February of 2016, Fuller House would launch on Netflix, becoming one of the most popular shows the platform has ever released. And the show would address Michelle Tanner missing. with a few comical jabs aimed at Mary-Kate and Ashley.
Now, where's my little sis?
Well, Michelle sends her love, but she's busy in New York running her fashion empire.
I got my first designer dress for the party. It's an Elizabeth and James by Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen.
At these prices, no wonder they don't need to act anymore.
Fuller House would continue year after year, season after season, but the question on whether or not the Olsens would make a guest appearance would still come up very frequently. Candace Cameron Bure, DJ Tanner, was very frustrated by this, telling publications to stop asking about the Olsen twins. They are never coming back on the show. The answer is no. Jeff Franklin, a producer, squashed any hope by stating, "The door is open, but I'm not going to be calling them anymore to invite them. It's been 3 years of invitations. It's up to them to decide if they want to come and play or not." Also, can we just stop for a second? Like, did all these full-grown actors and actresses really dilute themselves into thinking the most famous twins on the face of the planet would return for their little Netflix reboot? Like, would it have been a Facebook post that got like millions of views or something? Yes. But they are the most prolific fashion icons of the 2010s. Honestly though, the Olsens not returning to Fuller House is much deeper than their success in the fashion industry. They never wanted an acting career to begin with. When they were kids, they were not viewed as children, but instead a money-making machine for their parents. As previously stated, Mary-Kate has said she wouldn't wish her upbringing on anyone. The twins have made it clear for many years that they want out of Hollywood and have zero plans to ever be in front of the camera again. Despite living more private lives since 2008, they still get followed by paparazzi all over to New York, to the point that there is an entire art installation titled The Olsen Twins Hiding from Paparazzi. Not to mention, every single time they do show their faces in public at a fashion show or a Met Gala, they're ruthlessly torn apart by the media for the way they've aged. So it honestly should come as no shock that Mary-Kate and Ashley have absolutely no interest in putting themselves back into the public eye, even if it would bring nostalgia to millions. After being thrust back into headlines due to all the Fuller House drama, Mary-Kate and Ashley would become even more reclusive, to the point where even interviews with fashion magazines became incredibly rare. They had battened down the hatches and no one, not even the fashion industry, would be allowed in. For the next several years, they would only be spotted out a handful of times for supporting their sister and actress Elizabeth Olsen at a rare and shocking red carpet appearance, which would inevitably spark a new round of articles posing the question, what happened to the Olsen twins? Mary-Kate and Ashley would continue to expand their fashion empire, from starting a men's line to opening up multiple brick and mortar stores. In total, they were bringing in up to $200 million in sales annually. But in 2020, when the whole world was flipped upside down, so was their business. The first blow would be Barney's New York's bankruptcy, one of their largest wholesale clients who owed them millions of dollars at the time of the filing. This hit the row hard, resulting in the layoffs of almost half of their entire staff. And the hurdles would keep on coming, when Mary-Kate's personal life would start making national headlines once again.
Mary-Kate filed a divorce petition back in April, but she learned that New York courts were not accepting divorce filings at the time, seemingly because of the COVID-19 pandemic. A source tells ET the whole situation is, quote, brutal.
You've been dating this older man. He's 50, Sarkozy. They were married for 5 years, together for 8 years. Remember, these are the two. He's so tall and she's so short. And he always looked like he was dating his daughter.
Portia, there's a 17-year age difference here between Olivier and Mary-Kate.
Yeah.
I mean, did you think this was actually going to work out? I mean,
although she is 33 years old, she dress and act like a 50-year-old, okay?
ET has confirmed the 33-year-old is now requesting an emergency court order to push the divorce through.
This application is an emergency because my husband expects me to move out of our home on Monday, May 18th, 2020. In the middle of New York City being on pause due to COVID-19. I am petrified that my husband is trying to deprive me of the home we have lived in. And if he is successful, I will not only lose my home, but I risk losing my personal property as well.
And a state Supreme Court judge later denied the refiled petition after determining her situation wasn't an emergency.
A few weeks after Mary-Kate's emergency petition was denied, the New York courts started receiving divorce petitions again, and Mary-Kate filed immediately. This is where we learned even more details as to what was going on behind the scenes. The marriage reportedly had already started breaking down for multiple reasons, such as Mary-Kate wanting to explore the possibility of having children, and Olivier, whose children were now adults, felt that chapter was closed. Another huge disconnect would be their lifestyles. Olivier liked spending money, going out and partying, while Mary-Kate preferred to be more reclusive. Olivier allegedly didn't love how devoted Mary-Kate was to her work. He would have preferred her to be a stay-at-home wife as opposed to the fashion mogul that she is. But the straw that broke the camel's back was when Olivier insisted that his ex-wife Charlotte, his mother, and his children all move into their Hamptons home. He wanted his family out of New York since it was a hotspot. Mary-Kate loved his children and understood them moving in, but didn't want to live with his ex-wife for the unforeseeable future, since at the time no one knew when the lockdowns would actually be lifted. Olivier, however, was dead set on having everyone under one roof. So Mary-Kate left, and as soon as she was out of the driveway, the ex-wife was moved in. According to Mary-Kate's petition, that's when Olivier then stopped paying the $29,000 rent on one of their New York apartments, and their other New York home was purchased solely by him. So Mary-Kate ended up moving in with Ashley, where they would ride out the lockdowns together. But the Olsen twins' legal battles were not over, as another lawsuit would emerge. Ashley's ex-boyfriend David Schultz, who had abruptly left his position as president of the Row, would sue the Olsen's company, but it was filed under seal, so we don't know the details or how it was resolved. However, two things were going on at the time of David leaving as president. The Olsens had hired on a new CEO for their company, but also news broke that Ashley Olsen was engaged to Louis Eisner, a relationship that Ashley was notoriously private about.
From flower girl to the bride, Ashley Olsen's reportedly a married woman.
It's so exciting.
Page 6 reports the Full House star tied the knot with her longtime beau, Louis Eisner, in a secret wedding ceremony at a Bel Air home last week. So who's Ashley's lucky groom? Well, Louis is an artist, born to Lisa Eisner, a jewelry designer, and Eric Eisner, an attorney who was once the president of the David Geffen Company. Ashley's been dating Louis since 2017. In 2019, the pair sparked engagement rumors, but never confirmed anything officially. They're very private and are rarely seen out together.
In January of 2022, Bob Saget, the world's TV dad, would pass away at the age of 65. The cause was blunt head trauma, which was reported as an accident due to a, quote, unwitnessed fall.
We're going to begin with Bob Saget, the comedian actor known as America's Dad for his role on Full House, found dead in his hotel room in Florida.
He's not breathing, he's not moving. No pulse, he's cold, super cold. Do you think he's beyond any help? Yeah.
When police arrived, the room was orderly, with items owned by Mr. Saget on the nightstand, TV stand, and bathroom.
The circumstances of his death remain unclear, but detectives say they found no signs of foul play or drug use.
Bob Saget's passing shocked the world. It was just so unexpected, and we will probably never know exactly how he was even injured. Immediately, an outpouring of love came from Bob's TV family, including Mary-Kate and Ashley, who always maintained a relationship with Bob. They stated, quote, "Bob was the most loving, compassionate, and generous man. We are deeply saddened that he is no longer with us, but know that he will continue to be by our side to guide us as gracefully as he always has." And for the first time since 2004, the Olsens would reunite with the Full House cast to celebrate Bob's life.
They came to Bob's funeral, and it was so beautiful, and we all needed it because did
they speak?
No, but what they did, Howard, was they got us all together and said, "We love you. We loved our childhood. We're grateful for you guys. We thank you for making those 8 years so beautiful for us. We have such fond memories. We love you, love you." And everybody just needed to hear that. And it was I think it was Bob doing it, you know.
In 2023, the Financial Times scored a rare interview about stealth wealth with Mary-Kate and Ashley, their first interview since 2019. They reflected on the last almost 20 years of running their fashion empire, building their company from the ground up, just the two of them, and how they hid the fact that they were even the designers behind the brand for the first couple of years. The row has fully bounced back from the 2020 financial hits that it took, and has even expanded by launching a new location in Paris. As for Ashley and Mary-Kate's personal lives, well, they will understandably always keep that hidden. What we do know is that Mary-Kate seems really happy in her relationship with PC Valmorbida, an ultra-wealthy Australian arch trader. Ashley Olsen, who has arguably always been the more private of the two, is now a mom. Her and her husband Louis welcomed their baby boy into the world in 2023. The Olsen twin story is a rare one for us to cover, as normally these videos end with a clearer conclusion. But Mary-Kate and Ashley are completely different because they've kept their lives a total mystery and have even turned that mystery into their iconic brand. They have worked non-stop since they were born, spending their entire childhood entertaining the world, becoming the most famous twins to ever emerge from Hollywood. Despite this, Ashley and Mary-Kate were able to take back total control of their life in adulthood, where they remain two of the world's most mysterious and elite fashion icons. We want to thank Fume again for sponsoring this episode of Deep Dive. So head on over to tryfume.com/deepdive or just scan the QR code on the screen to grab your Fume now.